said 26. No. He's right here. And it goes. Yeah, that's right. Ready? All rise. At that time, I'll invite John King, pastor of First Baptist Church, to lead us in invocation.
It's an honor to be with you, and I know it's such a change. I wanted to offer some scripture from Numbers chapter 6. When God was setting aside some leaders, he said, pray this over my people. And here's what it says. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. So shall they put my name upon the people of Israel, and I will bless them. We're asking God's blessing on you, Mayor, on you, John, as you take this role in City Council today. And so pray with me, will you? God, today we are honored to be called to do your work, to lead your people, to love them, to shepherd them. Father, I am asking that you give wisdom and truth and beauty through our city council. God, that you allow your actions to be lived out and governed. And Father, I pray that you will supernaturally bless the people who lead here in this council room. And Father, that you will bless our new mayor. And Lord, that your hand will be obviously on him. And Father, ultimately, that the people of this town will be blessed by their leadership and by you. God, thank you for this wonderful town. I pray that you'll continue to pour yourself out here for your glory. We pray these things, Jesus Christ, in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I'll call the meeting to order. And we do have a quorum at this time. Mallory? Yeah. Next item is the appointment for Mayor Pro Tem.
Mayor, I would like to nominate Councilman Josh Cotter to the position.
Second. You have a second? All those in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
I'll get the words out. Here, have a new sign. All right. All right, we have our house in order again.
And then John gets the nice empty one.
Yeah. Yeah. Your name here. Thanks. All right, Josh, get it started.
Next item on the agenda is the approval of the consent agenda. I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Next, we have recognition of guests, presentation for the Old Time Music Ozark Heritage Festival, Todd Shanks.
Good afternoon, Council. Since 1994, the Old Time Music Ozark Heritage Festival has sought to celebrate, preserve, pass on, and nurture an appreciation of the old time music and folk life traditions distinctive to the Ozark Highlands. The city of West Plains is proud to call the Old Time Music Ozark Heritage Festival its signature event, and in fact, the festival returns this year after a one-year hiatus and will take place on Saturday, June 5th from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Numerous volunteers over the years have worked diligently to make that event a reality for our community. However, this evening, we'd like to recognize two people in particular who have dedicated their lives to this event, Kathleen Morrissey, who unfortunately cannot be here tonight, and Paula Sporanio. Through their efforts, Kathleen and Paula have brought in countless musicians, artisans, and storytellers from across the country to West Plains, exposing our community to a wide spectrum of art forms that include dance fiddling, jig steps, and gospel singing, in addition to occupational traditions of blacksmithing, log skidding, spinning, and basket making. And of course, the festival's signature event, mule jumping. So before she comes up to talk about this year's event, we'd first like to honor Paula for her hard work and selfless dedication to the festival and the West Plains community. And she's going to kill us for doing this.
All right.
I appreciate this. I certainly do. I did just want to say thank you to the city for all the years of partnership. I have information on the festival, on our mule jump competition and our jig dance competition, and a full schedule if anybody's interested. I don't know if you might have some questions for me, but I know that there are several in front of me that have participated in the festival for many years. So I'm happy to address any questions from the newcomers. If not, I will sit there with my information to pass out. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paula.
Certainly appreciate
I know I can always count on you contacting me to at least drive.
it. Well, we might have more for you to do this year.
All right, now we have reading of the bills. Bill 4684 to become ordinance 4684, second reading. An ordinance increasing the rates charged by the city of West Plains for providing the services of refuse collection to commercial and residential customers of the city of West Plains, Missouri.
I move we approve Bill 4684. Do I have to do this?
To become ordinance 48,
Okay.
second reading.
Do I
Wait,
need
a minute, second.
I'll second.
All right,
Thank you.
all right. Any discussion? Any questions?
Did we have any public comment?
There was no public comment.
Mallory?
Bill 4684 to become ordinance 4684, second reading. Neese,
Yes.
Cotter,
Yes.
Merle,
Yes.
Neeson,
Yes.
Topliff.
Yes.
Thank you. Bill 4685 to become ordinance 4685, second reading. An ordinance of the city of West Plains, Missouri to amend chapter 12 businesses of the Code of Ordinances for the city of West Plains, Missouri by adding a new Article 6 pertaining to motor vehicle towing and wrecker service businesses used by the city of West Plains, including services used by the West Plains Police Department.
I move we approve Bill 4685 to become ordinance 4685, second reading.
Second.
All right.
Council, we have received no comments from the first reading. And just for our new council member, this is a ordinance we're requesting to protect our people that when we tow their vehicles, to adhere to pricing as well as specific equipment and requirements for our wrecker services that we use on what we call an on-call list. So if a police tows your vehicle, we want to make sure our community members are protected by set prices so they're not gouged from one service or so. So that's the reason for the ordinance.
Thank you.
No further discussion. Mallory.
Bill 4685 to become ordinance 4685, second reading. Neese,
Yes.
Cotter,
Yes.
Merle,
Yes.
Neeson,
Yes.
Topliff.
Yes.
Bill 4686 to become ordinance 4686, first reading. An ordinance amending Chapter 6, Animals and Fowl, Article 2, Dogs, Section 6-45, Impoundment, and Section 6-46, Disposition of Unclaimed Dogs in the Code of Ordinances.
I move we approve Bill 4686 to become ordinance 4686, first reading.
Second.
We're requesting the costs for impounding and adoption fees to increase. These fees have been remained since 2007, 14 years ago. But before I go there, I do want to introduce our animal control officer, Officer Brad Jones. I call him officer because he was a commissioned officer for the police department. He remains in that capacity. So we can do more enforcement, things like that. So I'll introduce him.
Good evening, council. Like I said, most of you know who I am. My name is Brad Jones. He's kind of wanted me to introduce myself, give a little bio. I've worked for the city of West Plains for 17 years. While in that capacity, I was a patrolman for the city of West Plains. Like the chief has said, I still remain as a commissioned officer where I can kind of go out and handle all these without having to call another officer off the road to handle these types of situations. And I'll also be still continuing to help with the forensic evidence team in that manner. I just look forward to serving the community in this aspect of this part of the law.
Thanks.
The fees we've asked to increase is our adoption fees. Dogs under the age of 6 months do not get a rabies vaccine. However, the care of these animals and process has increased in cost. So we've asked it to go from $10 to $25 for pets under 6 months of age. Dogs over 6 months of age, due to the Department of Agriculture, requires us to give a rabies vaccine prior to anyone adopting it. So that costs approximately $15. So that's the additional cost there. For the impound fees, and it's just a cross note, I'm sorry, the West Plains Animal Shelter charges $50 for their adoption fees. Now they do spay their or neuter their animals prior to adoption. We do have a donor that offers anybody to take a pet that she will cover the cost of that. So they have waivers. The impound fees, we've asked to increase from first offense from 20 to 25, second offense 30 to 40, third offense 50 to 65, and the fourth offense to remain the same at $100. Dogs that are brought to the pound by individuals, we've asked to increase that by $5. And these are for individuals who may take a dog and then bring it back and say, I don't want the dog any longer. There's a fee to go ahead and take that dog and process that animal back through. And then we are asking for the charge for feed and care daily go from $10 to $15. And that's for feed and general care for the animals, whether in custody. And we ask that council approves these increases.
Chief, is the dog pound owned and operated by the city?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And we're under the guidelines of the Department of Agriculture.
Okay.
They inspect and we present our policies and procedures to them.
So these proposed new fee structures cover the cost of the officer and the veterinarian to do the.
Correct. We bring it to a local vet. Now it doesn't cover the cost of injuries and things like that. We have a very small budgetary item. So if we find an injured pet, to try to take care of that pet up to a certain amount of time for us to try to contact the owner to get permission to continue treatment of the dog.
Okay, thank you.
So it can become very expensive.
Absolutely.
So
All right, no other questions? Mallory.
Bill 4686 to become ordinance 4686, first reading. Neese,
Yes.
Cotter,
Yes.
Merle,
Yes.
Neeson,
Yes.
Topliff.
Yes.
Bill 4687 to become ordinance 4687, first reading. An ordinance of the city of West Plains, Missouri to amend chapter 18 courts of the Code of Ordinances for the city of West Plains, Missouri by amending section 18-40, assessment for statewide court automation fund.
I move we approve Bill 4687 to become ordinance 4687, first reading.
Second.
Deidre, did you cover this?
I can if you guys have any questions. I didn't know if you would or not. Basically, what it boils down to is that the state is requiring that all municipal courts, including the one here in West Plains, join what's called Show Me Courts. So basically, I don't know if you guys ever go on CaseNet, but they're making municipal courts join essentially the same thing so that all of our stuff will be online as well. So it's required that we join. Part of that requirement is that we start collecting $7 for the court automation fund to basically pay for it. And in order to collect that, they require that we pass an ordinance. So we're required to pass the ordinance because we're required to collect their money because we're required to join Show Me Courts.
But it's our choice.
Right, yeah.
Volunteer.
You can pass it if you want to, but you have to.
Yeah.
Sign here.
Yeah. Any other questions? Mallory?
Bill 4687 to become ordinance 4687, first reading. Neese,
Yes.
Cotter,
Yes.
Merle,
Yes.
Neeson,
Yes.
Topliff.
Yes.
Bill 1139 to become resolution 1139, a resolution to authorize the city of West Plains to purchase an easement at the corner of Kentucky Avenue and 5th Street from Burton Creek Medical Complex LLC.
I move we approve Bill 1139 to become resolution 1139.
Second.
All right. Good evening. So this is still fitting together the pieces of the puzzle for the needed acquisitions for the Ozarks Healthcare expansion roadway project. Up here on the map, you can see is that southeast corner. This is what we're talking about in that property. Basically, we need to have the northwest corner of the Burton Creek property for our right-of-way and easements for the roundabout, as well as just that little thin strip that runs south there on the adjoining lot. Both of those lots are owned by the Burton Creek Medical Group, and they've agreed to an easement purchase price of $63,000 for that easement. The reason that's so high is that essentially right now where that structure sits on the northern property, it devalues the lot because the building will be useless after the right-of-way and the road's actually built, because it's going to not meet our setbacks anymore. That easement's going to go right up on the corner of that building, basically. They do have future plans that they would like to see some possible opportunities with that lot. It'll require the building coming down and being built according to our setbacks. So the reason that there was that drastic cost for what should be just an easement is really because we're devaluing land that much because the structure has to be removed eventually. This is the remaining piece of the puzzle. We do have deeds. We don't have them recorded yet, but we do have the deeds from Ozarks Healthcare for their property donations. Then this, once we get this approved with Burton Creek, then we'll be ready to take it back to MoDOT to go ahead and try to get the notice to proceed so that we can move forward with getting the bids for construction.
I trust the value was done by appraisal.
Yes. Yeah, we did have the lot appraised, and we've reviewed that for the last several months. We've reviewed that with Burton Creek Ownership Group, make sure everybody's questions are answered and they understand what's happening and how. So we tried to be as transparent as possible. We actually had this originally a couple of months ago, ready to go for council. But I had a last minute question I wanted to clarify with the ownership group before we move forward. So I pulled it just to make sure everybody is 100% clear of what's happening with the land and the transactions and the appraisal.
Did you have a review appraisal done too?
We did not. No, we didn't have to because of the way that we're moving forward with the project with MoDOT. So we are following what MoDOT's guidelines have been for what we need to do for the proper acquisition.
Okay. What do you think your time frame is for the notice to proceed?
Our original timeline was that we'd be letting the project in June. We're going to be extremely tight to meet that right depending on getting those. We can't turn anything back into MoDOT until we have everything recorded by the current owners and turned over to us. So again, all that stuff falling into place. We're still hopeful for late June, July, possibly. But again, that kind of requires everything else falling into perfect place along the way. But our original timeline with MoDOT was that we'd be letting this section of the project in June.
No further discussion. Mallory? Oh, that's right. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Bill 1140 to become Resolution 1140, a resolution to authorize the purchasing agent to execute an agreement with MTS Contracting Incorporated for Civic Center exterior improvements.
I move we approve Bill 1140 to become Resolution 1140.
Second.
Hi, Jeff.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This will also be part of a bid here soon, in a few minutes. But this is for exterior improvements to the Civic Center. This is for repairing and replacing the damaged EFS, some brickwork, some glass work, and that is simply what we are asking for is passing of a resolution. So I can present the bid here in a few minutes.
No questions. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Oh, good, good.
Okay, as you can see, the purchasing department has been rather busy. I'll try to make it as quickly as I can. The first item is asphalt overlay for fiscal year 2022. This is something we do every year about this time. This year we only had 4 streets that will be affected here. This is for approximately 1,414 ton of asphalt complete and in place, with about 7,500 square yards of asphalt milling as well, for a total price of $182,423.
I make a motion that we approve the bid of Pace Construction of West Plains, Missouri for $182,423 for asphalt overlay for fiscal year 2022.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just, I know you reached out to other contractors. Are we just too far out of the?
We're too, and this is a very small job.
Okay.
Yeah, we did advertise, but it is, unless we have lots of miles of streets, no one is interested.
Okay.
Thanks. So,
All right. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Okay, I have one more asphalt job. This is for the Galloway Park Trails. This is part of the RTP grant. This is for approximately 9,918 linear feet of asphalt, 8 feet wide, 2 inches thick. Again, this is for the Galloway Park Trails. This will be funded totally from the grant. The lone bidder I have is Pace Construction in West Plains of $139,800.
I make a motion we approve the bid of Pace Construction of West Plains, Missouri for $139,800 for asphalt services for the RTP Galloway Park Trails.
Second.
That does include prevailing wages, correct?
Yep, sure does.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, this is the exterior improvements to Civic Center I talked about a few minutes ago. Again, this is to re-caulk expansion joints around windows, replace deteriorated EFS, replace some brick. This will be paint and reseal the EFS and replace the window glass on the south side of the building where the pool area is. This is a Sourcewell contract through MTS Contracting in Springfield. About 3 years ago, I went out for bid to do this very project. We didn't have the windows in at that time and some brickwork that we did not include. But I had one bidder 3 years ago, and they were a bidder from Springfield. not this exact bidder, but a bidder or a contractor out of Springfield. So that was one reason why we had decided maybe to go through the Sourcewell contract. This company did some work on the courthouse for the county about 2 years ago. They were very pleased with the work that they did do. They're actually getting ready to do some work on the parking garage for the county. I believe they've done some work for the college, and they're doing some work or have done some work for the high school. So they have come highly recommended. And I would recommend MTS Contracting in Springfield at $143,881.40.
Make a motion, we approve the bid of MTS Contracting, Springfield, Missouri for $143,881.40 for exterior improvements to the Civic Center.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
I apologize. I do need to make mention of one more thing that I meant to say. The glass work that is going to be done will be done by a local in-town contractor. So
Who's that?
TNT.
Okay, cool.
Sorry about that.
Well, does that change your bid? Your vote?
Double I.
Double yes.
Okay. The next item I have is street sealant, surfacing, and crack fill for various streets throughout town. This is for 34 streets or sections thereof. One thing you do not have in your packet, because I just received it today, I had requested it last week, but I think the lady that takes care of that was out of town. Anyway, this is a page, and what this is the current Greene County contract that we are piggybacking off of. If you'd like to see that, I can let you see it, but it is current. But again, this is a piggyback from Greene County. This is from Donaldson Construction Company, Clever, Missouri. This is for pressure pave, sealant, crack fill, type 2 surfacing, and flex surfacing for a total price of $755,491.74.
Make a motion that we approve the bid of Donaldson Construction of Clever, Missouri for $755,491.74 for street sealant, surfacing, and crack fill.
Second.
Any discussion?
What do you mean by piggyback?
We are using the pricing that they gave Greene County when they did Greene County.
Co-op purchasing?
Yep.
Okay, thank
Yep.
All right, all in favor, say yes.
Yes?
Yes.
All opposed? All right.
Okay, the next item is one of many vehicles. And you may wonder why I have came to you tonight with so many vehicles. I normally do not like to do that. There is a good reason for that. And the reason is because on the contract pages on each bid tabulation, you will see that these vehicles are 2021s. But on my bid tabulation, they're 2022s. You can no longer get a 2021 on the state contract. They've closed them. So the reason why I have come tonight with so many is currently the lead time is 25 to 30 weeks to get these from when they start making the 2022s, which they're saying about August. So currently, if I placed an order today, it's going to be at least January. And I'm afraid that if I can continue to wait, these vehicles are going to come in after our fiscal year. So that is the reason why I came tonight with so many vehicles. But I do have a summary there on all the vehicles. We have many vehicles that are aging. A lot of older vehicles have lots of miles. I don't think I have bought a new pickup or vehicle. I think it's been 4 years since I bought a new one. I bought several used ones that had high miles when I bought them. But we just bought what we had the money budgeted to do. So that is why we are asking to replace as many vehicles as we are asking for. Okay, the first pickup I have is for the golf course. This is for a 2022 Ford F-150 with delivery, and that's another thing I want to make mention of. Every one of these have a delivery per each of $150. My intention is when they get 8 or 10 vehicles in Columbia, we can take maybe a transit bus and pick up several at one time. But I wanted to make mention of delivery just in case we didn't do that. So it's very likely that this 150 we will not have to pay this. But this is from Joe Mawkins. All of these vehicles are from Joe Mawkins in Columbia with delivery, a total cost of $25,093.
Make a motion that we approve the bid of Joe Mawkins of Columbia, Missouri for $25,093 for a new pickup for the golf course.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, on your bid sheet, you have it even 25,000.
For a budget amount, I would assume that will come from another account, make up the $93. I mean, am I correct?
That's if we have the delivery fee.
Yeah, if we don't have them deliver, we'll have enough in there anyhow.
How long do you expect? I don't want to ask the same question over and over and over. How long do you expect these vehicles to be in our fleet without having to change them out? What's the plans? So we won't have this huge $1 million plus hit.
As far as an actual plan on how often, I can't give you that answer. I don't know if that's something we're going to do 3 years, 5 years. I take it would probably be dependent on money budget. I would hope that we don't wait, as long as we have and have to do this. But I do believe our goal is to budget so much every year from this point forward and try to replace these every so many years. But exactly how often, I can't tell you. I would hope 3 to 5 years, but that's an answer I can't.
A lot of these vehicles are quite a bit older than that.
Yeah, we got 80 models, 90 models. We've got several old vehicles out there.
Since we're replacing the blue truck out there at the golf course, they've got one that just.
I would assume so. Right now, they don't have a vehicle at all out there that they're able to drive. The vehicle they were driving is sitting out here in the boneyard because it won't run. So they're using their own vehicles apparently. So
Thank you.
does that answer your question?
I think for the next vehicles, if nobody objects, we'll have him present each vehicle and then we'll do one vote to cover all the vehicles if there's no.
How do you want the minutes to read?
That it would be, we'll do a vote for bids F through L.
And just total up the, or
Yeah,
I'll do.
okay. Get the calculator out. All right, but for this bid. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nope. All right, so you can now go through F through L.
So you want me to read the grand total? Is that what you want me to do?
No,
No, read
just-
them separately.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll
Okay.
just vote once.
Okay.
instead.
All right. The next item is new pickups and SUVs for the transportation department. This is for 9 pickups and SUVs total, with delivery for a total cost of $230,270. Okay, next one is 2 new pickups for the Parks and Recreation with delivery. This would be $49,874. I got a new pickup and a new SUV for the fire department. With delivery on both of these is $67,987. Okay, I got new SUVs and pickup for planning, IT, and building official. This is for 3 total vehicles with delivery, total of $80,631. Okay, I have a new pickup and SUV for the police department. Excuse me, new pickup and SUVs for the police department. This is 1 pickup, 2 SUVs with delivery, total of $107,789. Okay, I have one new SUV for Public Works with delivery. This is $28,414. And the last vehicles I have, these are work trucks for transportation department. These trucks will be chassis that will come with utility bodies on them. This is for a total of 5 with delivery, total of $247,395.
I make a motion that we approve the bids of Joe Mockins of Columbia, Missouri for items F through L on the agenda for a total cost of $812,000, $812,360.
Second.
Discussion.
Question on the vehicles for the transportation related, is that coming out of our transportation sales tax?
That will not come out of the, I don't think it can come out of transportation sales tax. It's just money that we had budgeted. Am I correct? It can't come out of transportation.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not sure what all can, but big equipment, yeah, like backhoes and loaders and things like that, but
Not a
vehicles,
truck.
no.
I had a question about the police vehicles.
Mhm.
Does that price include having to have them fitted for all of your equipment?
No, it does not. That does not include equipment, which these vehicles won't have a lot of equipment that we have to purchase because we already have a lot of this already, correct, Chief?
Yeah, we have 2 SUVs and police package.
Okay.
They come with a higher alternator. They will have light bar.
Once they come.
Will that come off, will that equipment come off our existing vehicles? Or
Some of it will, yes.
Some of it
That will
most of
fit.
the ones that the canine vehicle is a 50/50.
Right.
So, but we don't have any for that. The other ones are pretty old.
Thank you.
Fortunately, we've been kicking the can down the road and it's time to pick up the can. All right, no further discussions. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, I have a new backhoe for the refuse disposal department. In the summary, and I don't believe you have the summary because I got the summary a little bit later. But if I can find the summary here. The new backhoe will replace a 2006 Case 580 Super M. It has 5,309 hours on it. We usually try to trade those out every 4,000 hours, so we're a little bit over. That is the reason for the need for the backhoe. This is on a MoDOT contract. It's the same as the vehicles. This is for a 2021 Case 590 Super N backhoe from Potter Equipment at a total cost of $115,185.
Make a motion, we approve the bid of Potter Equipment, Springfield, Missouri for $115,185 for a new backhoe for the refuse disposal.
Second.
Any further discussion?
How long does it take to get to that 4,000 hours?
I'm going to say 4 years. I think about 1,000 hours a year is about what they put on one, typically. So,
Thank you.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
okay, the last bid item I have is a new roll-off truck for the refuse disposal department. In the summary, they will be trading out or selling rather a 1987 International roll-off truck. The odometer has been broken for the last many years. Currently has 375,000 miles on it at the time of the odometer break. So this is a vehicle that we do need to replace. This is for a 2021 Peterbilt 348 with an 80,000 pound roll-off and tarp. Total cost of the truck and the winch is $148,250. This is part of a Sourcewell cooperative buying contract.
Make a motion, we approve the bid of TLG of Joplin, Missouri for $148,250 for a new roll-off truck for the refuse department.
Second.
Just a comment, wouldn't it be cheaper just to get a new odometer?
Maybe.
We got a used one though, somewhere in the bone pile, don't we? Little levity, come on.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. We've been running it in reverse for,
Every day after you set them up a box.
all right, no further discussion. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Right.
Thanks.
Thank
Jeff.
you. Yeah.
Next item is the administrator's report.
Thank you. Good evening. Just a few items for you this week. Last week, we cut the ribbon on the new splash pad. So I'd like to first thank the staff for all the time and effort they put into not just getting that park constructed, but for the ribbon cutting as well. Very successful. Had good weather that day on the heels of some cloudy weather the day before. I've driven by it every day since then, and it's busy. So folks have figured out they need to bring their own lawn chairs or picnic blankets, but folks seem like they're having a good time. So again, just like to thank everybody for their efforts there. We on the solar farm, we are experiencing a few material delivery delays. I think in fencing materials as well as conduit. That is hard to come by these days. So we have items on order for that. But I think with the cloudy, rainy weather, that delay is helping us with getting the materials, hopefully whenever we can get them. But otherwise, the site is moving along pretty well. We're doing the trenching where we can without trying to step on everybody's toes. There are a lot of people out there working. New pool lighting was installed at the Civic Center last week, and tonight we're hosting graduation for the West Plains High School crews because of the inclement weather outside. That graduation starts at 7 o'clock this evening. Bill Verdon will be in West Plains this Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. up at the Welcome Center. So we are inviting residents who are interested and are fans of baseball to go see Mr. Verdon. He's celebrating his 90th birthday, I believe, this year. And so we have an opportunity to have him come back in town. So encourage everybody to come out and join them. And if you haven't been to the Welcome Center since it's been renovated, it's a beautiful facility now. So Melissa and Todd are doing a great job of keeping that thing running well. On economic development front, Burke's Outlet is scheduled to open at the Southern Hills Shopping Center on May 27th, and Harbor Freight is close on their heels with the anticipated opening of early June. I think maybe the 4th, but they're still waiting on a few racks and some items, I believe. Police Department news, Joel Lovelace was sworn in earlier today as newest police officer, and Officer Lovelace, I believe, came from our detention program. He just turned 21, so he was just sworn in this afternoon. He's going to start a 10-week field training officer program. So congratulations and welcome to Officer Lovelace. And finally, I think on behalf of the city team and council, I don't want to speak for you, but speaking certainly for the city team, we'd like to recognize and thank Mallory for her service to the city over the past 13 years, I think. Including most recently as our city clerk and public relations director. This will be her last meeting of council, so she's certainly welcome to attend anyone in the future, but this is the last one she has to be at. So we would just like to thank Mallory for her service and would conclude with those.
I'll miss you. No further business. May God bless you, and this meeting is adjourned.
Second.